Hi, everybody. Happy Saturday. Yes, Saturday. Day before Easter. Super. I am making Thai curry. I'm going to wait a couple minutes for people to hop on before I get started. But this will be fast and easy for everybody. So if you hop on, let me know. Leave me a comment. Feel free to comment along the way. Ask me any questions. I'll try to look up and take a look and see if there's questions that you guys have. I got very frustrated with my camera angles last week, so I'm hoping that tonight it's a little bit better. Hi, Matt. We'll see. I was going to have my husband videotape it, but then I decided I didn't know if that would work out that great either, bouncing around, but I think this will be better. It'll just be a matter of when I have to rotate it to the stove, if that works, so we'll see. So today, Thai curry. It's delicious. Everybody loves it. The thing to know about Thai food is that it's really a balance of flavors. So everybody's palate is different. Some people are gonna like it way spicier than others, or saltier or sweeter, more acid. You're just gonna kind of play with the flavors towards the end until it tastes exactly how you want it. I love Thai curry and I love Thai food, so I know when I'm right there, when to stop, when to add more. And it's great, which just reminds me, okay, no, good. So in Thai cooking, they're sour, they're spicy, they're salty, and they're sweet. So you have sour, think lime, kaffir lime leaves, lemongrass, tamarind. Spicy, obviously chilies. Lots and lots of chilies. Peppercorns. Thai food has a lot of whole peppercorns. Salty, fish sauce. Fish sauce, shrimp paste, that sort of flavor. And then sweet, they use a lot of palm sugar. Now, I don't know how many of you have been to the H Mart in Aurora, but when all things resume to normal, when they do, I highly suggest that you go. Go to the H Mart, plan on spending like a whole afternoon there, buy some pantry items, buy some kaffir lime leaves and lemongrass and palm sugar, and go eat at the little food court. That's really great food there, and just have fun. It's a really great place, and there's just tons of different types of people shopping and buying all sorts of interesting things. One of the things though that you can get anywhere, King Soopers, wherever, is Thai curry paste. I like the green. There's also yellow and there's red. Now it does say hot on it. I haven't found it to be hot, and I add a ton. In fact, the last time I made this, I opened the jar and I practically used the whole thing. So, and my kids ate it, so it was fine. Their difference between the colors is really the chilies, and it always has, traditionally been the chilies. So green curry paste, green chilies, yellow chilies, red chilies. The red has typically been, hi Shelly. First of all, oh, hi, teen. First of all, Shelly has been making my dishes and she's been putting me to shame. I mean, I'm so impressed. It's amazing. It's really, really awesome. And one of my BFFs is watching too. So this is very exciting. But usually the difference between these is the chili that they use. The red one has typically been the spiciest. Yellow is kind of in the middle, and green is the most mild. Although, like I said, this one's is hot. This one has chili peppers, garlic, lemongrass, spices, salt, shallot, and lime peel. Great. I'm gonna add some fish sauce to my curry when it's done to season it. Maybe some more lime and season it up a little bit more. Hi, Susan. They have added other flavors to curry paste, like red, they'll add chili powder. Yellow, they'll add turmeric just to get it a little bit brighter in that color. But traditionally, it's all about the chilies. So I posted a picture on Facebook today of some chicken wings. So when my good friend Christine came out for Thanksgiving, the first Thanksgiving we had in Colorado, Josie, if you knock that over, I will murder you. The first Thanksgiving we had in Colorado, she came out and we made Asian Thanksgiving. So we made egg rolls and fried rice, and we made fish sauce caramel chicken wings. We got the idea from Pok Pok in Portland. We took a magical trip there together and we ate the entire weekend. And one of the best things we ate was at Pok Pok. And they make their famous fish sauce caramel chicken wings. And we duplicated them to perfection over Thanksgiving, and it was amazing. I posted a picture if you would like the recipe for that. It is not technically difficult. It just takes a long time, and you do need to have the ability to deep fry. Totally worth it. She's already gone, teen. All right, so I'm gonna get going. What I am making today with my Thai curry, I'm calling it the kitchen sink Thai curry because it's just all the vegetables I have left over for the week. I know what I'm making tomorrow for Easter. I know what I'm making on Monday for dinner, so I've just got to use up a bunch of stuff. If you were in Thailand, your curry would probably have a lot of leafy dark greens that they just got from the market. It would be fresh, it would be amazing. Maybe some Thai eggplants, definitely not broccoli or sweet potatoes or peppers, which is what I'm using today, but that's fine because that's what I'm using because that's what I've got. So I have already made my rice and it looks awesome. It's just brown basmati rice. You know, I wouldn't recommend using some of the fancier heirloom rices like the red or the black, only because I feel like you need a rice that is going to absorb some liquid, and sometimes I feel like those are kind of nutty and a little bit chewier, and they're not as, you know, they don't suck up the liquid like you want this rice to, because you're gonna want this sauce to soak in and just eat it up. You could also serve it with some naan or some bread to soak up the rest of it. Here it comes. Here it comes. Get it over with. Get it out of your system. One more time. Okay, remove yourself from the kitchen. And that is why I'm drinking every day, every other day, every day on the weekends, and every other day during the week. All right, anyways, I have my rice done. I have sweet potatoes in the oven. The reason being is that I do not like the texture of boiled potatoes of any sort. Murder. Where's my knife? I like having my potatoes have some caramelization on them and some flavor, and I want them to be super sweet. Potatoes usually aren't used in curries, but I have them, so I'm using them. And I don't think I would use regular potatoes in this recipe. I just think it's gonna be delicious, so I'm adding them. And I roasted them in the oven with some mini peppers that I also had left over and I had to use the rest of. So I got the sweet potatoes, mini peppers in the oven, and I'm steaming some broccoli. I bought a ton of broccoli earlier in the week, and I just need to use it up. So now I've got ginger and garlic and green onions and some carrots. And I'm gonna chop them up, and I'm gonna saute this in a little bit of olive oil, and it's kind of gonna be the base of my sauce before I add my coconut milk. And if I was making fried rice, I would be doing the same thing. When I make fried rice, I make a seasoned oil first with my green onions, my ginger, and my garlic, and I just kind of let those things very lightly simmer in the oil without burning the garlic to create that flavor. And then I use that oil in my fried rice. So if you want to make fried rice, you know, have some leftover rice, use, you know, leftover dried rice from another meal, or just make it one day and put it in your fridge and use it the next. And then make your seasoned oil and use enough. It's fried rice. It's not necessarily good for you, but then you can add all those vegetables and it'll be very tasty. So I just chopped up some garlic. I've got a whole bunch of ginger. Ginger really isn't used in Thailand. They use galangal, which has a sharper, more peppery, woodsy taste than ginger. Ginger is a little bit more sweet and kind of spicy than galangal. but I don't have it. So I'm using what I've got, which is ginger, and it's gonna be delicious, and I'm totally okay with that. So I'm cutting off a knob of ginger, and I'll show you how big. And again, you guys can use however much if you really like ginger. I'm using about an inch little knob here. Ooh, that one's dirty, gross. And I'm just gonna slice it up and chop it up with my garlic. I like to chop my ginger pretty tiny. Some people just will like slice it and put sliced ginger in there. Josie freaks out if she eats a big piece of ginger. She thinks it's super spicy. So I chop it up really small so that she doesn't taste it. Maybe she just tastes the flavor and she doesn't get like a big hunk in her mouth. So I've got ginger and garlic, and I'm kind of leaving them separate because I'm gonna use my garlic last. Now I've got the bottoms of my onions. You can use regular onions, you can use shallots, you can use whatever you have. I like green onions. I just think they've got a great kind of mellow taste. They're probably the type of onion I use the most in cooking. I've got like 4 giant onions, and I hate to say it, I don't know. I just don't cook with big onions a lot. I need to make caramelized onions apparently and do something with them. Maybe make like a caramelized onion pizza or something later in the week, because I've got to use them up. So they're just being overrun with onions. So I've got my onions cut up, and I cut up some carrots. I sliced them pretty thin. So I'm just going to add my carrots when I add my onions, and I'm gonna saute them together. And then maybe my ginger in a little bit too. I'm gonna add my garlic last because I wanna kind of cook my onions and my carrots for a while so that it gets a little soft. And I will move you guys over so you can see. Hopefully this will work. There we go. Seriously, I'm gonna be like my own little production studio before you know it. So I've got these onions. I hope you guys can see this. Problem is I can't see what I'm doing because of the comments, but hopefully you guys can see. So I sliced my carrots pretty thin. I like my carrots to have a little bit of a bite. I don't like them super mushy and stuff. That's just me. I like texture. And so I'm gonna saute them up with my green onions. Just kind of let them sit in there. And then they'll kind of finish cooking when I add the coconut milk. This is my mimosa, by the way. I don't have any orange juice. I have fresh, some sort of citrus. It's delightful. So I'll get while I'm waiting for this, I'll open my coconut milk. I just have regular coconut milk, unsweetened. It's not light, it's not coconut cream. Don't use the coconut cream, that won't be very good. And I don't really like, I'm gonna have curry. I want it to taste great. So light, it tastes okay. Ooh, this one's not chunky. So a lot of times when you open up your coconut milk, which this one didn't, it has the chunk on top and then like all the water at the bottom. I just have a whisk ready that I was gonna use, which obviously I don't need because it was really nice. So I'm gonna whisk that up for you guys, but I don't need to do that. So I'm gonna set that over here and just, ooh, oh my God, it smells so good already. So now that I have this going, I am going to add my ginger. I'm not gonna add my garlic yet. I know every time you see people cook with garlic, they add it first with everything else. I add my garlic last when I've got about like a minute before I'm gonna add like a main sauce, just because I don't want my garlic to burn, you know, and it's gonna sit in the liquid and simmer for a little bit once that I get it in there. So I just add it last. So what am I gonna be making for pickle those onions? I should pickle those onions. In fact, I thought about that. I'll probably pickle my red onion and put it on avocado toast with some, I don't know, sliced tomatoes because I got a bunch of tomatoes too that have been ripening. As part, maybe, I'll pick this. As part of my kitchen sink curry, I have some baby kale that I'm gonna add towards the end. I also have a giant thing of spinach out front, and I have some shredded red cabbage. I'm gonna add these two towards the end. I might add the red cabbage right before I add the coconut milk and then add the thing at the end. I'm just throwing it all in there because I've got it. Might as well use it. Oh my God, it smells so good. All right, so now that I've kind of like whisked or got this all going, I am going to add my garlic that I chopped up. So I cook garlic until I can smell it. And then I know that it's cooked long enough and then I can add my other things. Sometimes if I'm cooking other ingredients, I'll smush them all and make a little hole in the middle and add a little bit more oil right to the middle so I can saute my garlic right in that oil for about a minute. But I'm not gonna do that because I'm gonna do that with this. So I've got my green curry. I've got the leftover of one jar. And then I've got a brand new guy right here. Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that smells so good. So now, I'm going to make a little hole in the middle. I'm going to push all this stuff to the side. And I'm going to add a little bit of oil right in the middle. Just a little bit. And then I'm going to scoop. So I've got a little spoon. It's just the spoon that will fit in the top. I'm going to scoop the rest of this in there. So that's probably about a tablespoon so far that I have. Oh, it's spitting at me everywhere. I'm just gonna saute this in the oil, kind of like tomato paste. And then I'm gonna put another big spoonful right in the middle of that. Oh, it smells so good. And I'm just gonna mix it around. So, if you're using a pan that you can use a metal whisk in, that's not a bad thing to whisk in this paste. I can't use a metal whisk in this, and I don't have a silicone like little whisk, so I'm just gonna stir it into my sauce. I might add a little bit more of my paste to this. And you can add more at the end, it's not a big deal. But I just want to saute it up with all the other stuff before I add my coconut milk and just kind of leave it to the side to simmer. Ooh, it smells so good. Okay, so this is what I got going on. Now, I'm going to add all this coconut milk. Ooh, yeah. No, this is not a low-fat meal. It's a delicious one, though, with lots of vegetables. And gluten-free. There you go. So, because this this particular brand of curry paste does not have any fish sauce in it, I am going to add fish sauce to my curry to season it. Kind of like salty seasoning. So I'm gonna let this just kind of come to a nice little simmer, and I'm gonna add the rest of my vegetables. Have spoons. Have lots of spoons because you're gonna need to taste this. So I'm adding a little bit of fish sauce right away because I know it's gonna need it. I also have some limes ready to go because I'll probably serve this with limes at the end. So as I let this kind of come up to a light simmer, I'm gonna chop up the rest of the vegetables that I'm gonna add. And you know what? I don't think I'm gonna add this purple cabbage now that I think about it. I'm getting good at that, huh? All right, I'm gonna move all this out of the way. It's dirty. Turn this over. I'm gonna chop up, though, this rest of this baby kale. And if I don't like the way it looks, I'm gonna get the spinach out. You could also do like bigger kale. Spinach is great, baby spinach. Anything that will kind of wilt easily into it. Any sort of leafy green. I like to add them because it's a great way for my kids to eat lots of greens. So I'm gonna do this, but I'm also gonna go and get my spinach. Unless I can recruit a child, which of course now that I need one, they won't come in here. But maybe I'll just do that at the end. All right, so I've got some of these, and I'm just gonna kind of chop them all up. Ew, not that one. All right. I find if I slice them all up, then they're harder to pick out. Anything that's small is harder to pick out. And you know, really, this doesn't really taste like much when it gets in there. Now I have my vase of herbs. I keep my herbs like this in the fridge. So I've got my green onions, and I've got some cilantro, and I have some parsley in the sink that I've washed that I'm gonna stick in here too. Ugh, here we go. You guys are gonna come with me into the garage because I gotta go get that spinach. Take a little trip together. It'll be fun. So anyways, if anybody has any questions, let me know. I'm happy to answer. As you can see, this curry comes together quite quickly. All right. Tomorrow I'm making a veggie lasagna for Easter. So I bought this giant thing of spinach so that I could bring this down. So tomorrow I will put this whole thing of spinach in my lasagna, which always makes me feel great to know that my family consumed this much spinach, because it will cook down to like nothing at all. So, well, this much spinach minus a couple handfuls. So I'll just chop this up, and then I'm gonna add it all to that. Ooh, this looks so good. Okay, so I am gonna taste this real quick, just to make sure that my flavors are kind of on point. It's delicious. Super yummy. It's super creamy. It's just a tad spicy. It definitely needs some lime. So I'm gonna push this to the side, and I'm going to cut up a lime, and I'm gonna put the whole thing in. I also like to serve, there we go, my curries with lime on the side, just so people can squeeze some lime over. I also like to, you know, I'm just gonna put cilantro and green onions right on top. Sometimes I'll serve them on the side, but not today. I'm just gonna put it in there. So there we go. I think there's enough curry paste in there. I'm not gonna add any more. I might add a little bit more fish sauce towards the end, but I'll wait and see. Oh yeah, much better. Oh yeah, that's great. Okay, and yeah, I am gonna add some more fish sauce. So go light with your fish sauce. So back to those chicken wings. Those chicken wings were made with a fish sauce caramel. So you take your fish sauce, quite a bit of it, and sugar, and you melt it down in a pan, almost like you were making a simple syrup, but with fish sauce. And then you chop up a ton of garlic. We slow roasted the chicken wings in the oven under low heat to allow the fat to render out, and then we left them out so that the skin would get dried out. Then we would toss them in cornstarch, deep fry them. The skin gets super crispy, and then you toss it in that fish sauce caramel, and it is crazy good. I mean, like, lick every part off the bone. Delicious. I cannot even tell you. So I'm gonna add the rest of my veggies. So I'll slide you guys back over. Oh, this is so effective. Remove all this. So first things first, I've got some steamed broccoli that's gonna go in. And then put my greens right over that. These greens are just gonna wilt in the sauce. And then I'm going to just put in my sweet potatoes. And you know what? I don't think I'm gonna add the peppers that I sauteed just because I'm not feeling it. I think it would just be better with the greens, the broccoli, the carrots, and the sweet potatoes, and not the peppers. So I'll use the peppers for avocado toast tomorrow. It'll be delicious, or I'll just, I don't know, do something. I'm making a French toast bake in the morning. I had like frozen dinner rolls in my freezer. It was so bizarre. And, oh, yeah, awfully crispy. And so I'm just going to rip all the dinner rolls apart and like make my custard, put it all together, and then just like fold in all sorts of berries into it, frozen berries, and then bake it in the oven. I've got some fresh strawberries in that I'm gonna put on top, and I think it will be delightful. So now I'm adding all of my sweet potatoes that are gonna add a really nice, well, maybe I will add some of these peppers. They look pretty good. But it's just gonna add a really nice sweetness to this curry. Ooh, yeah, this looks so good. Okay. There, all my veggies are added. I mean, come on. Look at these sweet potatoes. They look so much better than like if you just chopped them up raw and stuck them in there and boiled them. I don't even know how you'd have to chop them small enough to get cooked. You'd have to boil them first and then add, no, gross. Roast your sweet potatoes if you're gonna use them and put them in here. All right, this is just like a big mismatch of veggies. Okay, I'm gonna let this kind of simmer and let all the flavors kind of melt together. Super yummy and super low. While I chop up some, damn it, I don't really want to move you guys again. Can I do this? This is hilarious. It smells amazing, Jean. It really does. So I'm just gonna take a big old handful of cilantro, rip that off, slice it. Oh, you guys can see this much, can't you? I'm so embarrassed. I will totally clean it up before we eat. I wish I had fresh mint. I would put some mint in this and it would be delightful, but I don't, which is fine. And then I'm just gonna chop off some of these green onions, just the green parts. And save that for the very end. So I like crunchy things on top. Now that I've made it, I probably wouldn't have added them anyways, but I bought these Thai flavored cashews from Whole Foods and I had them delivered. I'd never bought them before. And I'm like, I'm gonna put those on top of my curry. Now that I've made it, I probably wouldn't because they would kind of fall into the curry and change the flavor dynamic, but I ate them all. They are so good. If you really like cashews, you may not want to buy them because you could eat the entire bag in one sitting. They were amazing. And it was like Thai flavored cashews. It was like the Whole Foods brand. Oh, they were delicious. I opened them because I'm like, I gotta try this before I add this. I wanted them for breakfast. I wanted them for lunch. You could totally do that. All right, I'm getting my serving tray. I always forget that. My serving bowl. Ooh, this is done. So I'm serving this today with edamame, which is totally not Thai. It's protein. My kids love it. Wow, does your family eat that way well every meal? Yes, Susan, they do. They do, because I really like to eat well. And so by default, they have to eat well too. So I'm gonna take my rice, which is super fluffy, stick it in my bowl. Oh yeah. And my kids eat really well. I don't know that they realize it. I made a really awesome taco yesterday. So I have just like a shit ton of potatoes. And so I took my potatoes, I diced them up, and I roasted them with taco seasoning, which was delicious all on its own. Sorry, I can't, it's too messy. Taco seasoning, just salt and pepper, and I got them really nice and crispy in the oven. And then I made I had refried beans. I had the soy rizo from Whole Foods, which is much more mild than the soy rizo from Trader Joe's. So if you're vegan and you're looking for a good chorizo substitute, the soy rizo from Whole Foods is actually much better. My whole family could eat it. I love the soy rizo from Trader Joe's, but it is really spicy. And then I made a slaw out of my red cabbage that I had left over and some grated carrots. And what the hell else did I have in there? Something else, something crispy. Oh, I had that baby kale. So I was like, my kids gotta eat kale tonight. And I made it with, what did I make it with? Mayo, not vegan, ketchup, a little bit of ketchup. Did I make it with ketchup? Yeah. And what else did I put in there? I have to think about it. But I tossed it all in there, and the slaw was so amazing with the roasted potatoes and the refried beans and the whatever else I had. It was so good. That was one of the best tacos I've ever had, with or without meat. I've had some good tacos. All right, so I just poured this all on top. Actually, now I do wish I had those cashews. It's like all the sauce kind of like went into the rice. I feel like there could be some crispy cashews on top. Okay, tons and tons and tons of fresh herbs. Fresh cilantro, fresh green onions. Yum, looks great. It's gonna be super awesome. If I had some mint, I would have added that, but I don't. So, you know, it'll be fine. Life will go on. Hi, Berta. I totally miss your face, girl. And there we go. It's super bright here, so we'll see how I can do this. Take you guys out of here. Show you my final product, and that's it. I'll take a picture. All right, if you have any questions, let me know. If you want the recipe for those fish sauce caramel wings, I'm gonna tell you, you need a deep fryer. You can use a Dutch oven, it works fine. You need a ton of oil. It's not healthy, but it will be the most amazing thing you ever eat. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Happy Easter to everyone celebrating Easter, and I will talk to you guys soon. Miss you all. Bye. Mwah.